Sure, thank you. I'm very happy to be here to give the keynote speech at the Blockchain LatAm Summit 2021. We are now in a rather difficult times in our real world with COVID-19 that is still rampant. But life got to go on. So being a early adopter in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space, I would love to share some of my insights on the future trends, some regulation changes, and also what are some of the bigger moves that could come up in the next quarter, especially. So give me some time. I will just share my screen with all of you. So this is my topic for today and the opening keynote speech. It is rather early in Singapore right now. I hope I can give you the best insights to some of the thought leadership that I have gathered, for the event. So the main topic that we are going for is called trends, regulations, and the big moves. Why are we saying this is because if you look at the current crypto market, there are some really obvious trends that people are going after. And of course, there are some of the projects who are still a little bit, backwards. They might not be in the top trends, and they might not be following the right kind of momentum and so forth. So these slides that is coming forth in the next minute or so will start to share how we look at some of these trends ahead. So my name is Andy. I'm Andy Lian, chairman of BigONE in Asia. So I have more than 15 years of experience, have a proven record in terms of business strategies. I have a best-selling book as well, titled Blockchain Revolution 2010. I'm an investor, board member to a couple of other companies. Personally, I do believe that crypto will transform traditional finance. I also do believe that the changes will happen very soon. I'm also concurrently the chief digital advisor to Mongolia Productivity Organization. Previously, I held other appointments at an advisory board member with Hyundai DAC, and I'm also part of a intergovernmental organization as a blockchain advisor to help facilitate and educate people more about how crypto is like, how blockchain is like, and how the regulation frameworks is going to help the country. So again, another introduction about BigONE. Some of you might not know what and where we are. Our mission is to find good projects and be a leading trading platform globally. We are founded in 2017. We are registered in Netherlands, and the group operates in Russia, Brazil, Vietnam, Seychelles, Singapore, Japan, and Indonesia, providing marketing, investments, and blockchain technology R&D work. So this is how the whole group works. So just to begin with, I want to just recap on some of the crypto regulations that are in place, right? Bolivia has comprehensively banned cryptocurrency and exchanges. And in Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Venezuela, and so forth, they are now commonly accepting payment, crypto payment, with retailers and merchants and so forth. And Brazil actually became the first country in LatAm that will trade an Ethereum-based EFT. And the regulator approved the QR asset to offer an EFT Ethereum product. So if you can see, the regulation for crypto has moved. It has gone from being very skeptical for some countries to some which has already offered a ETF product. And then when you look at the crypto exchange regulations, 3 points to share. Latin American regulators have different views on cryptocurrency, with friction between traditional banking and crypto exchanges. So if you compare with other Latin countries, Mexico does regulate cryptocurrency transactions through their fintech companies regulation act. And this lack of organized regulation has made some countries in an attractive option for new companies looking to set up as an exchange. So you look at this way, where the regulations are all fixed and all ready. There might be things that you need to comply. There might be regulations that you fall under. I think this is a good thing. This will allow and protect retail buyers and retail investors. And for places where they have a lack of regulations, for example, the faster moving organizations can go in and then operate there, and then at the meantime, try to get the license going. So these are some of the changes that have been happening and changing in the space. And if you look at this from a more global perspective, the US Securities and Exchange Commission has called crypto the Wild West and said more activities should be subject to government oversight. In Europe, for example, the EU plan would subject exchanges to regulation, including standards for policy fraud, ensuring transparency, and establishing governance standard. And coming back to Asia, in May, China cracked down on Bitcoin mining, trading, and the central bank's later order its latest largest bank and payment processor to root out cryptocurrency related activities. So if you look at it in a more global manner, the more established countries or more developed countries, they are already putting up the various plans to regulate crypto. To further this conversation, if you look at it from a more micro perspective, regulators are already moving ahead to regulate centralized exchanges, while they are finding their own ways and finding different methods to look at how they can deal with the decentralized exchanges. So this trend is obvious. It depends on where you are, which part of the world you are at. A lot of such changes are already in place. So looking at Latin America, between 2017 and 2020, the Bitcoin volume has an average of about 6% of the volume for BTC globally. And in March 2020, Latin America had a 15.8 share compared to the 6% in US. Coming to 2021, statistics in some info in May, Mexico-based company Bitso was valued at $2.2 billion, making it the first crypto company in the region to be worth more than $1 billion. And again, if you look at how things are evolving in Latin America, you might think that everything is good. You might think that everything is all in place and so forth. Well, you are not wrong. We spotted a couple of trends that are in the market. The first trend that we do see is there's a rise in the DeFi market. Peer-to-peer platforms are driving new adoption in emerging markets. And this has been reported in numerous reports, in 2021 especially. And then one of the key driver for adoption in South America is in providing DeFi payment corridors. For example, for Venezuelans working in Colombia, and sending funds home using DeFi solutions. This is a big change because in the olden, or not that old days, we are all looking at using a remittance service. That is going to take some time. With DeFi, with cryptocurrency, the transfer of dollar and cents become a lot faster and more convenient, right? Putting example again for Bitso, which is now rapidly growing in Brazil, says it's growing fast is due to the low cost, friction-free financial services to the entire population who would be otherwise excluded, from all these financial related services. So again, you see the rise in adoption for DeFi right at your doorstep, right? And then again, talking about trends, NFTs are actually a big trend. Latin America users, consumers are now using digital wallet to store their cryptocurrency, to store their NFTs. It could be new, to Latin American marketplace, but the revolution of NFT and what NFT can do would do a lot better in Q4 in 2021. And again, do a lot better in 2022, as we start the new year. The Latin America culture, where art, design, music, and sports are celebrated, the NFT market shows a lot of promising growth. Influxo, a platform that is creating NFTs, has Ronaldinho support, and the platform is also supported by BigONE. We provided the technology to help to spear growth the whole process, and of course, Ronaldinho also followed us on Twitter, and he is looking forward, to some of these NFT launch that we have in place. The rise of CBDC is also something that we should really look at. I do not really look at CBDC as a more crypto play, but CBDC is actually helping the industry or the world to understand how digital currency can work, between maybe for example the central bank and also the consumer. So we do see that there are launches that are happening. For example, in Venezuela, central bank, they will launch their CBDC in October, and again, these are things that we should really look out for. Countries who are looking at things which are further ahead and with the foresight to look at CBDC, to me personally, would be something that we should look at. Another trend to look at will be Metaverse. So Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg in June laid out their plans for Metaverse and in a very short time, we have seen a lot of metaverses, videos and how it works, from the Facebook founder. I personally felt that cryptocurrency has been successfully integrated recently into all the different virtual world, such as Decentralized, Sandbox, just to name a few. And together with NFT that I've talked about, and the role of DeFi that again I've talked about, I believe that there will be a new form of DeFi that is happening in the virtual world, and I like to call it the Metaverse V. This would be a big change in how metaverses will work, and this will be a big change as well for how we as a end user, for example, look at how metaverses are being functional. And we talk about the future of payment, Facebook, cryptocurrency, NFT. It appears to be a matter of time. And if we were to keep pushing the same agenda and telling people and educating people the right story, metaverse becoming mainstream is actually not a big problem. Again, in my own opinion, metaverse needs its own economy and cryptocurrency native to it, where the value can be earned, spent, borrowed, or invested. So this is how I look at things for Metaverse 5. Just another example, like the top meme coin, Doge coin, is one option as a multiverse currency due to its low fees and infinite supply, despite the very popular Bitcoin. Again, this is just an example. You know, what are some of the things that could happen in the metaverse? You know, you could be working in the metaverse and getting a salary or a cryptocurrency as a reward. Such an act will be a start to a new economy. That's how we really see it. You know, that's how I see it, especially so for the future payment, because there's a lot of things that can be done on chain in the real life and also in different metaverse or different virtual world. So this will be trends that you should be spotting. These should be trends that you should be looking at. Coming back to what BigONE is doing, you know, we want our users to know more about our products, let them experience how the different swaps or the different DEXs work, right? So our latest product is it's called Swapbox. You can swap anything under one roof, you know, and it is integrated with 32 other swap platforms. And the Swapbox will automatically find the best price from these platforms. And all the currency supports multi-chain. What does this mean for users? This means that if you do not know how a DEX is going to function, how it's going to work, you know, it is a big hassle to have all your private keys, a big hassle to navigate different swaps, look at the different liquidity pool, look at the slippage and so forth. The product that we have made right now actually will help to ease everything. We become the connector, a bridge for the DeFi or DEX world and the centralized world. Because what we really want is to see and also to let users in the centralized exchanges experience how a DEX can actually work conveniently, you know, within our BigONE trading platform. So this will be something very interesting that we will roll out, and the possible timeline would be Q4 this year. And I really look forward to sharing with all of you some of this latest development. Of course, you know, we value a lot of different choices and so forth. You could still come back to BigONE. We support over 90 cryptocurrency and offers 140 trading pairs. You know, on a daily basis, we have about 20,000 user trading and have a trading volume of more than 500 million US dollars on a daily basis. So come by, you know, take a look. You know, the reason why we are here is also to share with you that we are actively putting our people into the Latin America market, because this market has been very dear to us. You know, we have our team in various places, and this is various places. You know, one of our core team is in Brazil, and this is a small roadmap for BigONE for the Latin market. And if you look at the goal that we have put forth, we are looking at a growth of about 50,000 users in time to come. And again, you know, if you need anything of any sorts, please let us know, because we like to provide a open space or open environment, you know, where we can exchange ideas, you know, where we can speak to you and share with you new ideas. So if you are not following our pages or our social media, please do so. We often give a lot of informational talks to the general public, and we hope to see you at our platform. So if you have any other questions, you could always feel free to drop me a message. Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.